Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I am here to do a little bit of map artwork for you all and look at all the wonderful, glorious maps that we have created together using the amazing creative map engine that is Inkarnate. We have so many nice maps here. We have Dungeons and Dragons maps, many of them for the module I just made called Ominous Signs Before the Breach. If you want to check that out, go to scribblersfantasticalworkshop.com and take a look. It's a free Dungeons and Dragons module for 4 to 6 level 1 characters in a virtual reality death trap based on Dungeons and Dragons. So yeah, we just made that last week, and as you can see, we have all sorts of nice maps for our Dungeons and Dragons adventure here, both game master maps and player maps. But for this map creation session, and I will be hanging out with you guys. If you want to drop into chat and talk with me, please feel free. Otherwise, I'll be talking as I'm making this map. But today we will be doing a bit of fantasy map art for my ongoing series, Hellkey. And Hellkey, I've been doing some readings for Hellkey on this stream, but if you're not familiar with Hellkey, it is a story about a mage who breaks into hell to steal a secret from the devil. Unfortunately, she's a bit off kilter because she's lost a good chunk of her memory from a potion that she voluntarily took before going to hell to erase her memory in the event that if she was captured, so that the plan that she and her mage parents concocted, this plot against Asmodeus himself, is not fully revealed. Myra is the main character, and she doesn't know the plan. She's kind of winging it, and she has some help though. She has friends in the form of a flying bat cloak-like creature by the name of Model, this hell fairy by the name of Zaya. She is a Vila, and her two devil friends, Zell and Terry. They have also recently come into a company of strange creatures. There are Pluma Cats, who are these bipedal cat-like creatures that can walk around on two legs, but can also go on four, and they can be very quick. Instead of fur, they have feathers. They're much like dinosaurs, so they're flightless, but they have feathers. And um, and the Pluma Cats are, I mean, they're intelligent. And the other set of creatures that they've come into contact with are Urdrakes, and the Urdrakes are these large snapping turtle like bipedal slash quadrupeds, a lot like the Pluma Cats. They can go on two or four legs, and they're kind of Godzilla like. They're massive. They probably weigh about 800 pounds. Think of like very large snapping turtles, and a crest of crystalline structures runs down their heads and their backs and onto their tails. And so Myra and her Urdrake and Plumacat and model companions are all hiding out in this cave over here in the lower portion of our map screen here. And in the next chapter, in the chapter that I'm working on now, it is a part of a series of chapters on an event that occurs in the story called the Battle of Sunken Crag. And the Battle of Sunken Crag occurs in this region surrounding Knife Lake. Some of the main features in this map are Knife Lake, which is this very, very nasty lake. All the water in hell is very nasty. It's filled up with algae and all this terrible bacteria and vents out poisonous gases. So most of the water in hell is toxic. Um, it's not good for things that need to drink. And here with Knife Lake is no different. But Knife Lake is a special feature in this region of hell called Eastern Infernia because it is a gathering place of wisps. It is a place where souls, when they come to hell, gather, and the devils ride out in these gigantic scorpion-like machines to harvest the wisps that appear in Knife Lake. And the devils are based at this place called Overseer Tower, which you can see at the western end of Knife Lake here. And so Myra's been kind of starting to tangle herself up with these slaver devils, these wisp slaver devils, these soul mongers, these collectors of souls. And what I'm going to do with this map is I did not add a strategic feature to the map. Um, and I am going to do that now. And the feature is Sunken Crag. And a lot of the maneuverings and tactics for this upcoming series of chapters on the Battle of Sunken Crag will pivot around this key land feature. The battle has already, in many ways, begun. Forces are moving. The drivers of Overseer Tower are moving out in a scout force. Queen Regina Rouge has sent out a sentry or 100 devils to go and hunt down uh, Myra for destroying one of her scorpions. And so the battle is starting to be joined already. The forces in Overseer Tower are stronger than just one sentry. There are many centuries of devils there, but the first force is already away and is trying to hunt down Myra and her friends. So what I'm going to do today with you here using Inkarnate is we're going to make a a land feature called Sunken Crag, and we're going to add this to the Knife Lake region, and then I am going to probably pull out a series of like zoom in maps that focus in on the region near Sunken Crag and to the south and east of it along the southern and western shore of Knife Lake here. If you guys want to come and join in and in chat, share your thoughts on maps or gaming or fiction or anything, please feel free. I will be more than happy to chat with you as I create this map, but that's not necessary. I mean, you can lurk. I can see we already have uh, a couple of lurkers here, so no big deal if you just want to lurk, and I will work as you lurk. Sounds like there's like a Disney song in that or something. All right, so let's go ahead and get to it and begin to create a Sunken Crag. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on the region that I have chosen for Sunken Crag. And the Sunken Crag is a critical land feature because it creates a funnel for movement. It is not easy to move through this hilly terrain here. Of course, moving through the poisonous lake is not a good idea either. And the crag itself is filled with monsters. There are scrabbers, which are these kind of crab spider things that inhabit Sunken Crag. There are these large chitinous spiders. They're about 10 feet across, so large and freaky. And there are Stellomall, which are the bad lizards. They're spined lizards that can shoot their poisonous spines at people. They're also very rude. Myra has encountered a Stellomall in the past in I think the chapter is Model's Grotto, and the Stellomall was a wisp, previous human that was transformed into the nasty lizard Bob. So yes, Myra has encountered some Stellomall. So the Stellomall and the Scrabbers, they inhabit Sunken Crag, and I want Sunken Crag to be this like land feature that runs from these hills uh, toward Knife Lake, and as you can see, there's really no easy means of passing around Sunken Crag. You have to go through this hilly region, which is difficult terrain. And I'm going to populate it with like razor plant and nasty rock features and deadfall. So it's not a good area itself. This hilly land, um, and and as we said before, the crag is filled with various nasty creatures. So in order to create Sunken Crag, I think what I'm going to do is use some of these cliff features. So let's go ahead and pull out the stamp tool and maybe also some like pit features. And I kind of like this pit feature, but I think just throwing in um, this crevice is not enough, and of course it's a little too big here. So let's go ahead and shrink this down. So I think what I want to do is throw like a crevice in between two apparent landfalls. And so let's go ahead and throw the crevice in. So we have a bit of a crag here. And then let's also go ahead and throw in a landfall. Um, let's see. So we've got one edge here, and I'm not sure if that's like the right kind of feature that I'm looking for. Maybe, okay, here we go. So, so here's a landfall. I'm not sure if that's exactly the kind of landfall I want. Here we go. So let's go ahead and toss in this landfall here, and that does seem to work nicely. And maybe a second similar landfall to kind of overlap. And I want to try and create a cliff effect going down to the crag. Nice. Okay. So we have the landfall, the crag, and then we want um, kind of a facing feature that is not as strong of a landfall, but also gives us the sense that the land on the other side is also dropping toward the crag. And I think I'll anchor this feature near a this mountain form. And so there we go. Maybe a little bit of a kind of like a highland. There we go. So we have Sunken Crag. We have a landfall leading to Sunken Crag, and we have the blocking terrain. I'm going to modify this a little bit. I don't want this landfall feature to be um, too much of a blocking terrain, um, or maybe I do. Hmm. So I think in addition to the landfall feature and the crag, I want a bridge. Let's go ahead and bring the landfall feature just a little bit closer to the crag. And so I imagine maybe a bridge that swoops over the crag. And I wonder if I can create this using Inkarnate. So this would be a rather large bridge, now that I think about it. Maybe a quarter mile across. So that is massive. So let's see what kind of stamps we can find for a bridge. I'm going to go ahead and open the catalog here. See what kind of bridges we might find. There's stone bridges. There are elven bridges. There are wooden bridges. None of these seem to really work for me here. There are abandoned bridges. Hmm. Let's go ahead and see if we can pull up some other bridges here. I'm going to open more map tokens, and this can get kind of confusing as the number of stamp tools proliferates here as we pull up more bridge type locations. Let's see. Okay, so let's see if there are bridges. Rope bridge. Nope. Destroyed bridges. I'm looking for something that might take on the appearance of like a natural arch. And you know what? I might just try to modify a stone bridge here and see if we can make it work. I wonder if I can, let's see if I can modify the dimensions here. Okay, well, first, that is running beneath, so we need to bring this up a couple of layers. There we go. And now, let's see if we can modify. Now, I know how to modify the size. I wonder if I can modify the width of this thing. Well, actually, you know what? This might just work. If I shrink down the crag just a little bit. Here we go. And then we have a bridge that crosses the crag. I might need to add more crags as a part of Sunken Crag, but this is actually, I'm starting to like the way this looks. There we go. So we can just back the crag up next to this cliff. And then we have a nice little bridge that goes across. I wish I could make this bridge more narrow, but I think it will serve my purpose. And this area here, I think, needs to have some other land features that make it non-passable. So let's go ahead and also add some nasty little basalt mountains here, land mounts. Maybe put them up in kind of like a ring, a semicircle perhaps. And yeah, so we are, for those of you who are lurking or joining us on Twitch right now, we are making some fantasy map art. And we are preparing for the Battle of Sunken Crag in the Hellkey series. let's see. And I think I will drift these closer to the hills. So we have like some freaky hill type things. There we go. So creating more of a land wall feature here. Um, so Sunken Crag is I'm thinking a very rough place to go. In hell, you know, a rough place among the rough places. But I want to add some more features here. I still think this bridge is just too wide. I wonder if I can change the width. Hmm. You know, I think I can do some things with this bridge. I have some ideas. All right, so let's look at some other features that we can add to Sunken Crag. Now I'm thinking I want to add some dark shading into this area, particularly around the crag. So let's go ahead and shrink our aperture down, and we're going to add some dark land features here to our Sunken Crag. And we're going to change the opacity down because we just mainly want like a shading. And I still think that my aperture here is a little too big, so there we go. So let's go ahead and start to add a little shadow here. See how that shadow works. It's a nice kind of blended feature. And we're gonna blend Sunken Crag. I'm gonna make it all dark and scary. All right, yes, around this bridge. Let's see, add some nice shadow shading here. Add a little shadow to that hillside as well. And I don't know, I think I might want to add some more features, but I think I'm only going to do that from like a zoom out map. So this bridge is kind of like a strategic feature. So I'm thinking that the devils probably have some strong points here as well. So maybe a tower or two. So let's go ahead and go back to our stamp tools and look at our little devil towers. And we do have some devil towers. And I want to look and see, yep. Okay, we don't want our devil towers to outshine the overseer tower. And so we're gonna bring the size down. And yeah, way down. So we're gonna have some like little towers here, right here at the bridge. And we'll place another one here. And I'm thinking I only want towers on one side of the bridge. You know, the side that is closer to Overseer Tower. And let's go ahead and put the towers up a layer. So there we go. Put them on the little posts there. And let's bring those up a layer too. There we go. So we have some nice little towers on the bridge that goes over Sunken Crag. I'm kind of liking the way this looks on the main map. Ooh, freaky. There we go. See, there we have it. We have a nice Sunken Crag. We have a strong point. It is a choke point. We have difficult land features around Sunken Crag and a natural funnel, which creates an interesting tactical environment. Now, the last thing we need to do is label Sunken Crag. And I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Let's see. So we need to pull out our text tool, and we want it to be similar to some of these other bits of text that we have written. So let's look at this. There we go. So our fill color is here. There we go. Okay, so pulling out our text tool. There we go. Can just drop some text. Let's reduce the size. So we are going to go ahead and throw some text in here and label our Sunken Crag. I think right about here, maybe here. There we go. And Sunken Crag. Yes. Okay. And this is a major strategic feature on the map. So we'll maybe, let's see, put the text label here. And doesn't pop out enough for me. So I'm gonna try to gonna reduce the opacity and maybe make the outline darker. There we go. Ooh, there we go. Nice and dark. Maybe not quite so dark, but yeah, I like the idea that Sunken Crag might be like just outlined in dark. There we go. So we have some Sunken Crag here. It's a pretty unique name. Hello, let's see. Is a sin. Hey, what's up? Nice to see you. Yeah, we're doing some map art here, but if you want to just chat or hang out, please feel free. I'm working on some map art for a fantasy series called Helki that I've been writing for some time. Are you a gamer or D&D-er? Of course you're a gamer. You're here on Twitch, but if you want to share anything about your games or just chat, please feel free. But I'm gonna continue to do some of the maps, and I'd be happy to chat with you as I do this. All right, so, but everyone, please welcome Isasin. All right, so I'm thinking I might want some fire on the little watchtowers down here overlooking Sunken Crag. And so I'm going to add some of those. Let's see. No, this is not D&D map art at this time. I'm going to probably do some D&D map art maybe not next week, but I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it'll just be fantasy story art for a little while. I do have another couple of module sets that I need to work on. I'm working on this one adventure following like a Tomb of Annihilation thing. I'm calling it the Dominator, so I'm gonna write some modules for the Dominator, and then I've got more modules to write for Battlestorm Online. So we have some nice little watchfires there at the towers overlooking Sunken Crag. All right. Yeah, I really like this effect. This is kind of cool. All right, let's go ahead and fit the screen and see what it looks like. Let's click away so we don't have any little boxes showing up. I'm not sure if I want the text to be right there. Kind of, maybe I'll, yeah, maybe pull the text down a little bit, see how that works. And I think I can maybe even shrink it just a little. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, so that way we can see the map features. Oh, I'm glad you like the map. So I'm making this map using Inkarnate, and if you guys want to use the map, I mean, I've posted it on Reddit, and it's also, on the blog. So if you guys want to use the map for any of your games, please feel free. Is a Sin is a gamer, but mostly Call of Duty. Ah, yeah, cool. Oh, thanks. I really appreciate the fact that you like my voice. That s- sometimes my microphone cuts out. I don't know why. Thank you. No, I appreciate that. It's I don't know. I find like doing map art to be kind of meditative. It's like it's soothing. It's it's visual art. Like writing is kind of like really super intense, and so the map art kind of takes me out of it. So I feel kind of chill, and I guess it comes out in my voice. But that was really nice of you to say. Thank you. Um, Call of Duty. I've never played Call of Duty. But I've seen some of you guys play it, and I think I often host people who play it. Um, so yeah, it looks like a really like a kick-ass game. I'll have to I'll have to come by and watch one time when you're doing Call of Duty and lurk on your channel and drop some chats in. I really I do enjoy watching the gamers and stuff like that. I'm kind of like a noob when it comes to like a lot of these games. I watched someone doing Tomb Raider recently, and I was like, I've heard about Tomb Raider, but I never played it, and I was like, oh, so that's Tomb Raider. But yeah, I'm mainly like a D&D slash, writing nerd, doing that kind of stuff here on Twitch. But yeah, the and this map is yeah, the Knife Lake map for my fantasy series Helki. And I've done all sorts of crazy maps for Helki, but this is one of the more detailed ones that I've put together. And as you can see now, I'm adding even more detail. In fact, I think I might alter this little land feature here just a little. Actually, this is too. Let's go ahead and shrink this down just a little bit. There we go. I don't want this particular feature, this little cliff promontory to be too dominating as part of the terrain. So I think I might just shrink it down just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so nice and subtle. Um, I don't believe. Maybe I will add a little shading for shadow there. See if that works out well. So it is nice to have a bit of a shadow. All right, is a sin. Oh, Call of Duty is a toxic community. Oh, that's not good. Oh man, I see that really kind of bites if you are playing a game that you really enjoy, but the community is not that great. Um, I'm really sorry to hear that. I've like I said before, I haven't really tried Call of Duty, but community is really important here on Twitch. And one of the things that I have found is that the Dungeons and Dragons community is really kind of awesome. I've been very pleasantly surprised at how supportive the Dungeons and Dragons community is. Now that shadow is pretty stark. I think I'm gonna have to if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna need more stark shadow. Let's add a little bit of like a landfall here. And I'm sorry, I'm thinking as I'm chatting with you, but I also feel sympathy, especially if you really enjoy the game Call of Duty. It's sad to hear that the community has grown toxic. Let's see. Oh man, so yeah, well, Dungeons and Dragons is it is one of those games that I really enjoy because everyone kind of creates the story together. If you're like a game master or a player, you're imagining yourself in this world that either is like a creation of your own imagination or your game master's imagination, but you participate because your character is also a creation of that world, and they have their own backgrounds, and they bring a little piece of the world with them to the story, um, which makes this, creativity like it's a creative sandbox that you can enjoy with friends. It's a structured make believe, and I really love it. It is a great exercise for the imagination, um, and creation itself is just so fun. At least for me. And the other thing is, there's really, I mean, if you're with a good group of friends, there's there's no judgment. You can throw something up on the wall, and if it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't, just move on and keep going. It's oftentimes people who play Dungeons and Dragons are very welcoming. The game is by its own nature cooperative. You're playing as a team confronting like a horrible in your dangerous environment or tough tactical situations or social challenges. You're engaging in an adventure together, and the way you succeed is by helping each other out. I mean, it can, of course, become competitive just like any game, but the structure is cooperative, which I find to be kind of, I mean, there's more cooperative games these days, but when I was coming up, it was pretty unique. That and the imagination aspect were real draws for me. Um, but uh, oh no, you don't have to be like the most creative person in the world though to play Dungeons and Dragons. And oftentimes I see a lot of people who play that are just playing characters that they like in or like playing versions of the characters that they like in fiction, um, or that have inspired them. So I mean, you don't have to have like this huge expansive imagination to play Dungeons and Dragons. You just have to kind of have a love for fantasy, and stories. And even if you're kind of imitating something that you like from a story, you're also taking part in the imaginative process. You're kind of taking that first step. Now, when you're streaming, I mean, the content needs to be original. So there's kind of like a bar, like a step up. You can't say, "Oh, I'm playing, you know, Luke Skywalker from Star Wars in a Dungeons and Dragons game," that you're going to stream, because that's like a character from that is owned, by like a big media conglomerate. But if you're playing like around the home table, yeah, you can do crazy stuff like that. The games on Twitch tend to be more, you lean more toward the original. They're more original characters, original content. And so if you're just watching the games on Twitch, um then yeah, then there's like a high level of creativity and originality. But yeah, these are the uber nerds of us. There's those of us who are brave enough to show our crazy Dungeons and Dragons games on Twitch. Um, oh, that's so sweet. That is really cool of you to say that. Yeah, no, I love D&D. I played D&D ever since I was like 8. And I think maybe even younger. And I remember getting under the bed at night with my friends and playing Dungeons and Dragons till all hours when we were supposed to be sleeping with flashlights and stuff like that. I don't know if you've ever seen like Stranger Things, but that was like that was me and my friends. Oh, it was nuts. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, I I'm really sorry to hear that you've had some difficulties with your groups over there with Call of Duty, and I hope that things get better for you there. And or I don't know, maybe just pick another game that is similar. It's a first person shooter or something that has some kinder communities and you still enjoy playing, and get into that. Um, or yeah, I don't know, maybe you could come play some D&D. We got lots of games. Let's see. I've been chatting with Yan T, who has a group. They're from Australia. They seem really open. And then Dungeon Master Graham is one of the game masters that I collaborate with. We're going to be playing a game tonight. Um, that'll be the Battlestorm Online game. It'll be his version of Battlestorm Online. We're co-GMing this world that we've kind of created together called Battlestorm Online. It's like a fantasy virtual reality death game as Dungeons and Dragons. And and so it's yeah, so we're doing that, and he's doing the Valhalla story arc, and I'm doing the Ragnarok story arc. And so yeah, but we're going to be doing the Valhalla arc tonight at 9:30 if you guys want to come hang out um and see that. So yeah, so here I am talking D&D as I'm making a fantasy map art for a book I'm writing. This is like so awesome. Everyone is so nice, and we're hanging out and we're having fun creating fantasy stuffs. And I am creating Sunken Crag, the location of a battle in my story. All right, so I think Sunken Crag looks pretty good at this point. I kind of like the shading. I might tweak this a little bit more. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and save this map because this is like my larger regional map. It's about, I don't know, from end to end, I should probably add a scale. It's probably about 15 miles from end to end. Um, Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. I'd have to check the world scale out. But we're going to zoom in on Sunken Crag and maybe try to fill out some features for some Sunken Crag as well. So I'm going to go ahead and save this for you guys. All right, is a sin. Um, I've gotten to the point where I only play when my bestie is online. If not, I'm on Twitch watching all kinds of different games. Also, where are you from? I know, so I know the time difference. Okay, so I'm on the East Coast of the US. We're like at Eastern Standard Time. So the game is like 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Where are you from? Are you like in a different time zone? I've like spoken with people like from all around the world here on Twitch, which is really kind of cool. Um, let's see. But yeah, yeah, that's a bummer though that you can only play the game that you like with your bestie. I don't know. Maybe you need to have some more besties. Get some more besties and like change Call of Duty to the goods. You know, you can be like a force for good for Call of Duty on Twitch. I know you can do it. I have faith. You know, party up. You know, well that's a D&D term. You know, party up for like the Call of Duty for the goods. All right, let's see. So, okay, I saved it. So now what I'm going to do is a cutout, and this is when we take a chunk of the map and like cut it out and then modify it some more. And I don't know exactly how much detail I'm going to be able to add to the cutout map, but I think I do want to. I'm going to use this cutout map for the chapter that I'm writing right now, which is I think I'm going to call it these next few chapters are all going to be the Battle of Sunken Crag something, and I think this next one's going to be the Battle of Sunken Crag, a Devil's Dance, or something like that, or like Dancing with Devils, because you know they're all kind of trying to maneuver at this point. They're trying to get the best position, and I kind of see it as I don't know. This is a little nerdy, but I'm drawing some inspiration from the Battle of Gettysburg a little bit, where the Union forces came in and they kind of grabbed the good position first, and it just really made such a huge difference. So I'm kind of inspired by that, and I want to actually have a bit of this fantasy story kind of drill down to really good tactics. I don't typically see a lot of that in fantasy, and And tactics fascinate me. It's like a chess game. So I really want to try to bring that element out without overshadowing the characters. I still want the characters and the setting and all of that to be vibrant. But so this is my challenge. Oh, you're in California? That's awesome. California is a great place. I want to go to California. I've never actually been to California, but it's like on my like list of places that I really want to go to. West Coast just seems so beautiful to me in so many ways, and yet recently things have just been um, so intense there, like weather-wise, and all the stuff going on. Yeah. So, but cool. California. Welcome from California. All right. So I know I've just been blithering now. So I need to get back to my map art. You guys are so awesome to talk with. I really, I just really love the Twitch community. Everyone that I've run into has been so amazing, um, and it's just, I don't know, it's just wonderful to share your passion for creative endeavors. I mean, gaming is definitely a creative endeavor. All right, so we're going to resize a map from a new region, and we're going to focus in on the region in which the first set of maneuvers that I was talking about occur. And so this is going to be down in this area from the Cave of Changing up towards Sunken Crag. So we're going to take a pretty decent chunk out of this. And we'll probably include East End and Sunken Crag and the Cave of Changing, as well as this section of Knife Lake. So still a rather large chunk, but we're starting to focus in more on this region. And so I'm going to take this now. And when you do this in Inkarnate, it's just really cool. You can just chop out a chunk of a map and then move it into like a new map, and then you can edit it and add more detailed features. And that's what we're going to go ahead and do. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. Um, and here we go. So now Inkarnate is doing its like resizing thing. So when it finishes this, I'm gonna go ahead and pull back and show you the Inkarnate like list of all the various maps that I have so that, or I don't know if I'm gonna show you all of them. But see, this is the new result. So we have just pulled out a map from Inkarnate. And I like for those of you who are watching, if you ever want to create fantasy maps, I really, really highly recommend Inkarnate. Inkarnate is an amazing tool for creating your own original maps. Um, it has, I've created so many. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hop away from this window really quick and open up another Inkarnate window for you guys because I want to show you my map library. And these are all original maps that I've created. So here is Overseer Tower and Knife Lake. This is what we've been editing recently. And I'm going to need to save the new map that I just created. This is a section of Midgard, and this is near a place called Nidavellir and Lake Runemere. This is a battle map that I made for Dungeons and Dragons, one of the modules I've created. This is a world map for Midgard. It's just one layer of the Battlestorm Online Dungeons and Dragons campaign that I'm co-running with Ted Burgess. This is another battle map, and here is another battle map, Goblin Town. This is the Yggdrasil location map in Battlestorm Online, and yet another battle map, Hobgoblin Hill. So you can see all these various maps that I've created using Inkarnate. Some of them for my fantasy stories. This here, Fire and Escape, is the setting for one of the chapters I've written in my novel. This here, the destroyed scorpion, is again like a hell setting. So you can see some of the maps I've made, and hopefully you can see that they've improved as as I've continued to make maps in Inkarnate. I've been doing maps in Inkarnate now for about, I don't know, about 8, maybe 10 months. So I feel like I've gotten better. So now we're back to our new map, Knife Lake, and And we are maybe going to think about adding some different features. But first, before we do that, we're going to save this. So let's go ahead and save this map. And it should give us a name. Okay, excellent. So this map we are going to call Battle of Sunken Crag Devil's Dance. And this is going to be the larger overview map for the Battle of Sunken Crag and the Dance of Devils that begins here. Devil's Dance. It's kind of like a dance macabre. Ooh. Oh, that's so cool of you to say. Yeah, it's there's just a lot of variety in maps that you can create. If you saw the maps from my like map loading page, um, so you're looking at maps. A lot of them are hell maps. So those are like more kind of reds and browns and duller tones because well hell in the series that I'm creating is it's not like so much the Judeo-Christian version of hell. It's an actual world that failed, and but it is linked to the earth through this gateway called the Arch of Time, and it is preying on the earth. It is becoming wrapped in this kind of discordant entanglement. And I'm using some like Judeo-Christian memes. So there are devils, for example, and the big bad in hell is named Asmodeus. But the multiverse concept is somewhat different. So this is a dead world. It's a world that kind of failed, and the climate there is literal hell because of the way that they've mistreated their world, and the only way they can survive now is to prey on souls. And yeah, so their world is racked. It is terrible, and it's I'm trying to convey that in the map art. Now there are other worlds that we're that I have featured in these maps, and some of them are more lush. I'm going to be doing another map on a lush world called Marin, which is an ocean world. And in the Hellkey series, Marin is a part of the world that the humans of Earth consider to be heaven, but it's a world that kind of made it. It's a world where everything has come nicely into balance. It's kind of an idyllic place. Um, Magic and technology do not disrupt the world. It's more in harmony and concert. The world itself is um, a a set of planets that are in a tidally locked gravitational lens. So it seems like if you're in on one of the planets, it seems like there are all these moons, but they're not. They're just all planets that it's kind of rosette, uh, a formation that can occur gravitationally. It's kind of theoretical. If you've ever heard of like the ring world, for example, that's a kind of rosette. Um, but they're gravitationally locked, so they kind of rotate like a bike wheel um, in their own gravitational force, and then they orbit their own sun. So it's a ring of worlds like a halo that orbits the sun. And one of the worlds is called Marin. So I'm going to do a map of that, hopefully maybe next week or the week after next. Um, so yeah, so that's why there's like such a variance. Long answer to a short comment, but okay. Um, so I'm thinking about adding some features to this map. I want to add the location of the destroyed scorpion, which is down here. So let's go ahead and do that. Um, And I don't know how detailed I want to get with that. You know what? Maybe I can get detailed with it. Let's see if I can. I wonder if I can crop a piece of a map and import it. I don't know. I've never done such a thing. Well, that sounds really fancy. Maybe I won't do that. But I do. There's like a destroyed scorpion, which is this nasty devil's machine that they use to harvest wisps, which are souls in hell. And it's down here. And then Myra and her companions have moved off to the Cave of Changing. So let's go ahead and see if we can find some little tokens that we can use to represent a destroyed. Oh, that's an interesting bridge. Hmm. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the bridge now and I'm thinking maybe I want one of these bridges. All right, that's possible. Um, all right, I think I like that bridge better. Let's delete that. Oop, nope, undo. I don't want to delete the crag. I want to delete the bridge. So we are going to take that out and we're going to add this one. And we are going to bring it up a layer. Boom. And ooh, very nice. Yes. Okay, this is kind of the effect that I wanted more with the bridge. So this is one of the things that I really love about Inkarnate is that you can. Ooh, fancy. Okay, so these things are lampposts, but we're gonna turn them into towers. And so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna move the towers here and put them over the lampposts. And let's go ahead and fit the screen and zoom in because I want to have more space to move with. And I know I'm gonna have to do this on the other map as well, but boy, is this cool. All right, let's duplicate that and put another tower here. And let's duplicate that and put another tower here. All right, and we had little lights, oops. Let's go ahead and just undo that. There we go. We're gonna grab our little lights and place them at the tops of the towers. And let's go ahead and duplicate our little candle lights, our little firelights that we can just put here. Ah, instant leader, how you doing? You just raided me? What the heck? Awesome! Oh my God. Why? What did I do to deserve all of this wonderful attention that you're raining down on me? Hmm? I try to host you every day. Oh, you like, yeah, the broken bridge is, yeah, that definitely has more of a hell feel. There's some green stuff on it. It's supposed to be like plants and stuff, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to make it more hellified. We'll work with that later, but let's bring this up a layer. Oh, this is so cool. I can't believe I just got raided. Ah. Oh man, thank you. It's so cool. Now I'm gonna have to figure out how to raid you. I haven't done a raid yet, but but I mean I've seen it happen on other um on other streams and it's just always so surprising and cool and awesome and I'm kind of new to Twitch, so I'm like still learning all the crazy nerdy stuff, but I love hosting you guys when I when I'm in my downtime and I'm just like, typing away writing or whatever, and I see you guys are playing, Call of Duty or Fortnite, or I'm just like, oh man, this looks so fun. So I've just got to host you guys. um, oh yeah, yeah. Inkarnate is just really great at the zoom feature. It's just, whoosh. So yeah, and the broken bridge does work out so much better. So let's fit this to screen, and ooh, yeah, we've got like a cool bridge over the Sunken Crag, full of the Skragons and the Stellomals, and um, yeah, and I just like the ambiance that we get with that. It's just so nice. So sorry, you see my microphone, it just cuts off spontaneously, and I think it's because I don't have any like music coming in through the headset. There's no voice coming back at me, and the headset's like, there's no one out there. I'm just going to cut off. There's got to be some kind of setting that I can use. So we've added some nice detail to our bridge, and thank you once again, Instant Leader. I don't know. I need to like please promote yourself in my thread or something, or let me know when I can host you. When's your next, or when I can raid you? When is your next stream where you're looking for some support? I'll do my best to help you out. Um, all right, so getting back to fantasy map art creation, we are going to try to drop a little debris here. I think what I want to do is maybe just, and this is going to be right in the lower portion. I'm sorry I keep zooming in and out, but I want to still have the edge here because it's going to be right down at the edge. So the Cave of Changing is up here, and the place where Myra and company managed to take down one of the awful hellish mechanical devices called a scorpion is around here. And so I'm looking like for a little like blast radius kind of impact. I don't think I'm going to actually try and draw the scorpion on the large map. I already drew the scorpion on a small map, and I can go ahead and show you guys that in a little bit. So, but what I'm looking for here is kind of like just like an impact, like a boom, something like an explosion that happened that I just want to throw down. So let's go ahead and see what we can do to throw down a little explosion onto our fantasy map. And all right, I don't think I don't I don't think it was called an explosion. I have used this before, but I've used so many tokens that Um, I love this. This is kind of like a Sarlacc pit. What we're looking at here with Inkarnate is the token templates, and Inkarnate provides all of these beautiful tokens that you can use for your fantasy maps. And I love the Dark Citadel. This works really well for hell maps, and I do a lot of hell maps. And this is the abandoned bridge that I just threw up for the Sunken Crag. Okay, so we don't have the explosions. Let's pull in the fantasy battle map tokens. I think they might be in there, but I don't know. For those of you who are just joining the stream, if you want to create some cool fantasy maps, check out Inkarnate. It is awesome, and it is really fun to hang out with your uh, Twitch friends and just do whatever. Um, Oh, it's okay. I'm sorry. My bot settings might be a little too sensitive. I'm still learning how to set up the bots. So please let me know. It's okay if you use a few caps. I might just go ahead and turn that setting off. But I actually did just install the cloud bot from Streamlabs, and it seems to work relatively well, but it seems to be too in there. So I think I might change the delay time and pull down some of the sensitivity settings. If you guys have any recommendations for that kind of stuff, I'd be more than happy to hear your thoughts. Um, Oh yeah, the Dark Citadel stuff is pretty darn cool. Yeah, yeah, those are freaking awesome. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the caps. The little bot is, yeah, and I think I'm gonna change the settings because it seems to be too sensitive. It's like they say like it sets up for like a 5 interval, but it counts its like own posts as an interval. So I think I'm gonna set the interval at like 20 or something for comments. Again, if you guys have any like recommendations, please let me know. So what we're looking for here is an explosion, and I'm looking for, let's see if there's explosions in here. Explosion marks, there we go. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for just like a blast mark kind of feature. And it doesn't have to be really stand out. I'd like something that really stands out. I'm just going to put that here. And I think what I might do is we want some concentric rings. So we're going to put a little like initial blast in the center and create kind of like a broken effect. And we'll see if there's maybe another ring that we can throw down. That kind of looks a little too big to me. Maybe something like this. Here we go. And so just a set of concentric circles that gives us like a nice little explosion effect here. So this is where Myra and company took down this awful scorpion type beast, the hell machine. And so on the map, it's like when you're zoomed out, it's not really going to be extraordinarily visible. But when I make another cutout map, it will be. And I'm going to go ahead and label this. So we're going to put a little text down here. And that's not the kind of text we want. So we're going to grab some text from the Cave of Changing. And let's see if we can. Yep, there we go. And we're going to put it down there. Now this is going to be some smaller text because it's like a smaller location. And so we are going to put the destroyed scorpion. So the devils have learned that Myra and company have destroyed their scorpion, and they are sending out a little force to investigate. So that is why we need our destroyed scorpion on the map. And let's see, I don't want it, maybe, I think I might need to shrink this down a little more because we don't want to have too much text all together in one spot. And that is awfully small. I might need to add some contrast, maybe increase the size just a little bit. I might move the Cave of Changing text also. There we go. So that creates a little bit of an offset. And I want this to pop out a little bit more. So let's make the shadow. Ooh, that's pretty dark. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. Maybe I can make the fill color a little bit brighter. That kind of fades it. Maybe darker. Yeah, okay, there we go. So here we have our destroyed scorpion, where this concentric rings are popping up. Yeah, I need to change the bot. The bot is too hyper. So mea culpa, I am sorry about the bot. Please feel free to chat. And I will reset the bot for my next stream. I'm still learning. Please forgive me. I didn't do my bot settings right. All right, so we have a destroyed scorpion. We have Sunken Crag. We have Knife Lake. Let's see, what else should we add? We should maybe add, so there are movement of forces here, and I think maybe what I will do is add paths. I don't think I want to add like any like critters or try to add any critters onto the map because this map is too large. But the commander of the Century of Devils is Lavros, and he sends out a scout, um, and his name, I think I'm going to call him. Well, let me see. Let me see. I'm still writing this. I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and pull up some text. Amagash. So his name is Amagash. And so he sends out this scout Amagash with 10 devils out ahead to investigate this destroyed scorpion. But the main force is stuck back here because they have these slow lumbering scorpions with them. The the rest of the devils themselves are riding what they call vortexes, and vortex is this one wheeled. It's like a unicycle motorcycle with a single spiked wheel that they use. They use it both to run over their enemies. The wheels are nasty metal spiked things, and they use it as a fast conveyance. Um, so there's maybe about 80 devils riding around on these vortexes, and Lavros sends out Amagash, who's like his lieutenant, with 10 of these vortexes to investigate the scorpion. So I think I'm going to Lavros's force is up here with the lumbering scorpions. Amagash has gotten down here with his scout force. And of course, Myra's over here at the Cave of Changing. And, there's going to be a bit of a conflict here. I don't want to spoil too much, but I think what I want to do is locate the different forces. And so we're going to start with a path tool. And we're going to use a little bit of color here. And I'm going to let's see. I think what I want to do is go ahead and add. Let's see. Is this working or not? It does not appear to be working. Let's just zoom in a little bit. Make sure we are on the right layer. All right. Should be working. So let's see if we can add a path here. And it does not appear to be dropping a path. Let's go ahead and switch it. Well, there we go. Okay, so we're going to add a path. Let's go ahead and zoom out. And so Amagash is going to thread through this region and needs to get all the way down to the destroyed scorpion. So let's go ahead and zoom out. So he goes to the destroyed scorpion, kind of rules around there for a little while. So we'll make a little circle and then heads off to the Cave of Changing to try to find Myra. So we have a path, and then what I can do is, throw some labels down here. And um, actually, you know what? I'm not certain if I want to label it. I think I just like the path. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it at that. Let's go ahead and fit the screen because I don't want to have too much text cluttering up the map. But since I am just using a path, the main force did come from Overseer Tower. So let's go ahead and bring them across Sunken Crag and join up the paths here. I think that is, I'm going to have to redo that one because I want it to go over the bridge. There we go. Some of the little devil tracks here running over the bridge. And there we are. So we have a nice little path. We have these added features. And I don't know. I think I kind of feel like I need to add some more nastiness to this map. I mean, it is hell after all. And yeah, and apparently my bot scared you guys away from the chat. I'm so sorry. Um, please don't be scared by the bot. I will I will change the bot before my Dungeons and Dragons stream tonight. But I am I mean, the lands around this place, I imagine them as kind of broken, filled with pitfalls. There are various nasty critters and that kind of lurk here, but I don't want to make the map too busy. So, but I do think that I should probably add at least a couple more crevices. So let's see here. Nothing as big as Sunken Crag, but since we are starting to get like a little closer to visibility, let's throw a crevice in here and maybe shrink it down just a little bit. And I'm thinking maybe some other little features in here. We already have hills, and most of the region around Knife Lake is pretty flat and low. Um, let's see. This is some dead space over here. I'm not sure if that's bad though. I think I might just add some shading to that other crevice. Let's see. Reduce the size and maybe reduce the opacity a little bit. Yeah, we don't want it to be solid black. We want it to be just shadowy. Nice and shadowy. Add a little shadow to our crevice here. There we go. Just a gaping chasm in the lands. Nice. Oh, that is so cool. Well, thank you so much for hanging out and surfing the web. I hope you're finding some cool stuff to look at while you're surfing. Surfing is a definitely an occupational hazard of being on the interwebs. So we have a nice shadowy crag here. Um, you know what? And I think I might add some little shadow to our destroyed scorpion. Let's go ahead and zoom in. I just love these little concentric blast rings. I've used it on a couple of occasions. Um, I don't know. I might add a little bit of an effect here, maybe a bit of fire too. Yeah, let's add a little fire to our destroyed scorpion because I mean, what is destruction without a little fire, right? Um, and yeah, so we got some flame. I might reduce the size of that. That kind of makes it almost look like it was a nuclear explosion or something. It's really huge. Um, okay, and then maybe a little smoke because we did have a destroyed scorpion there. So yeah, so smoke and fire. I like that. That's a nice effect. And let's go ahead and fit screen. Yeah, and so from a distance, it just looks like a little ring down there with a smudge and a little puff of smoke. But then as you zoom in, you you can see that there's more to it. So I have talked a bit about the destroyed scorpion, and I feel like I should show it to you. So I did do a battle map of the destroyed scorpion, and I was actually a little pleased with myself. I kind of felt like I pulled off a little kind of a cool thing. So this is the destroyed scorpion. I'll go ahead and zoom in on it. I created it with all these bits of cyberpunk. I'm sorry, steampunk junk in Inkarnate. So I took each of these little let's zoom, let's do the pointer here. So I took each of these little barrels and just laid them down, and I took this arm of metal and this arm of metal and I put it there, and then I put this little cog there, and this thing I thought looked like a broken scorpion tail, so I just made it with bits of stuff, and so I kind of used almost the Lego method to build a destroyed scorpion. Um, in this battle map in the Wisp Fields of Knife Lake, which I thought was pretty cool. I mean, the map itself is dark and red and also conveys the tenor of hell, and the scorpion itself isn't as dramatic as it could be, but I'm kind of going for more dull. So this is a close in of the scorpion, and this is a further out of the same device that is destroyed here. All right, and I think I'm actually going to label this. Uh, I mean, the thing is, there are two names here, so maybe I'll name the upper portion Lavrov and the lower portion Amagash. And then the Cave of Changing is where Myra is, so I don't really need to tell the location of Myra. So let's go ahead and throw some more text down here. So yeah, I think that's a good balanced place, and we're going to call this Lavros because that's the location of Lavros in the story. And we can increase the size of this a little bit. And then Amagash is down here. Now this is getting a little bit cluttered. So I might just leave Amagash out and just have Lavros suffice. And we'll just say this is, we'll call this Lavros's Sentry, which is the main force on the map. Lavros's Sentry, I like that. There we go. And so we will place the main strategic location, and yeah, I think what I'll do is just label this path down here scouts or pickets. I think scouts is probably a good one. So we'll maybe just call them devil scouts because they're devils, right? So devil scouts. And that gives us the location, the main location, and then the direction of the forces that are taking part in this first battle of Sunken Crag. All right, so I'm starting to feel pretty happy with this map. Although this cluster of text is a little bit too much. Maybe I will move the Devil Scouts over to here to try and balance things out a little bit. And then maybe move the Destroyed Scorpion label. Yeah, let's see how that looks. And the lowlands, maybe I'll just inch this up over to here a little bit. There we go. That has a little bit more balance. Yeah, I can get some lowlands down into Knife Lake a little bit. And then that gives me some opportunity to move the Destroyed Scorpion label up here. There we go. So we have some balance, and then the Cave of Changing. Let's just move this around a little bit, try and create some balance. Guess I can shift the lowlands a little bit, maybe bring East End. There we go. All right, let's fit this to the screen. All right, looks like we have our locations. Maybe, yeah, let's shift the wisps over to here. The wisp fields of Knife Lake. And here we are. I think I want to add a little bit of smoke to Sunken Crag because there's going to be some water that dribbles into it. I mean, it is a very low area. And oh, the map behind me. Okay, so this one right here is Avernus from the Dungeons and Dragons adventure Descent into Avernus, and I'm running this game not on Twitch, but just for home game. But I thought it'd be nice to have that map up. And then we also have this map, which is Icewind Dale. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if the camera's angled that way, but that is Icewind Dale, and there are two Icewind Dale games that are streaming on Twitch for us. It's one is Rime of the Frost Maiden, which is the standard Dungeons and Dragons adventure module right now for 5e. And we're also running an Icewind Dale game that is based on the video game. I don't know if any of you have played the Beamdog video game. Um, Icewind Dale, it's like from way, way back, like early 2000s. And my friend Ted Burgess is creating a Dungeons and Dragons game in the Icewind Dale setting based on the events that happened in the video game. And this is a really cool game. It's super crazy deadly. We had a total party kill, which in D&D parlance is a TPK at second level. We entered a cave and ended up having to fight 40 odd orcs. And I mean, at second level, 40 orcs is crazy. But in addition to that, there was an ogre. And these orcs weren't just like normal orcs. There were like orc shamans and orc archers, and then just regular orcs with battle axes. So I honestly, we ended up beating about, I think, 37 or 38 of them. There were maybe two orcs that survived, so maybe 39. So everyone was like all bummed that we died, but I was like, I mean, we won. I mean, there were only two orcs left, and they're probably so traumatized that they'll never raid another caravan in Icewind Dale again. So, um, but because of our heroic effort, the local lord there, Hrothgar, he paid to have us raised from the dead. So we are still adventuring with our company in Icewind Dale, and we'll be having that game Saturday night. I'll be streaming that game from my Twitch, and if you guys want to come hang out and chat, it'd be awesome. Um, but yeah, I'm playing a wizard, a blade singer wizard, basically a fighter mage. I mean, right? I haven't picked up any levels of fighter yet, but her name is Galia the ghost, and she talks with a Scottish accent, so she's a Scottish elf. So she's like, "Oh, I love cheese and books and things." So so I have a blast with her, and I'm trying to play her not as like a pretentious, overbearing, I know everything kind of wizard, like, but more kind of a like a clever, glib kind of wizard, which I think goes along with a blade singer. They tend to be, they have proficiency in performance, and although she's not crazy on charisma, she's actually socially kind of awkward. I have fun playing like a more glib kind of wizard. Um, but yeah, hopefully a good explanation on the maps. Um, all right, so yeah, I think I want to add some more smoke because I'm just sitting here thinking, what effects do I need to add to this map to make it more interesting? And I think Sunken Crag is definitely going to be smoking, because there is water in Sunken Crag, and I need to move the smoke a level up. We need to level up our smoke, so hold on one sec. We need to level up our smoke. Let's bring it up. Let's bring it up to the top layer because we want the smoke to appear over the crag. It's one of the nice things about Inkarnate is you can make your levels. That's not really very visible. So let's put it at the end of the crag. There we go. And let's duplicate that. And let's add some more smoke here. All right, so we've got some smoke to add. Kind of the angle is such that it seems to parallel the crag, and I'm not sure if I I like that, so I might rotate smoke a little bit. So let's go ahead, let's zoom in and see what we can do with this smoke, because what right now it's kind of adding a shadow effect. And I think I want to have a little bit more drift to the smoke. There we go. So let's bring it. There we go. So we got a little smoke bleeding out of our sunken crag here. And it's just kind of oozing up over the lip of Sunken Crag, hinting at worst things that lie beneath. Because they do. And they do indeed. And we shall find out when, as we explore the. Oh yeah, with the time zones, 9:30 is 6:30 Pacific. Oh man, that is so cool. Well, we'll be sure to you know welcome you with open arms. So there are, let's see, there are going to be, I think, 6 or 7 of us. Well, tonight there will be 6 of us, I believe, and and I'll make sure that they hop into chat so that they can hang out with you. And I'll do my best to monitor the chat. I don't want Ted to kill me, so I'm going to have to pay attention to the game. But if you're going to hang out, we don't want to leave you hanging. So want to make sure we entertain you and answer your questions and chat. We are pretty laid back when it comes to gaming. We crack a lot of jokes and um, I mean, we do act out our characters, but at the same time, it's also a social event for us, and we like to um, socialize as part of the game. So please feel free to come and we will love to chat with you as we play. And I'll do my best to get you guys up to speed on all the crazy things that are happening in our Dungeons and Dragons game. So there we have. I think I am going to increase the size of some of this smoke because I like this kind of trailing effect of smoke. And down here, it's more just kind of oozing out, and I like that effect. I think that that works. Oh, I like that. I like this particularly the feathering up toward the north. And we do need some smoke here at this other crag across the way. So we have smoke emerging from the low places, which are wet places, which are the poisonous gas places. And yeah, hell is just awful. And let's go ahead and change the opacity of this. I want to make sure I'm grabbing the smoke. This is not opaque enough for me, so let's make it a little bit more see-through because I want people to see the crag. Let's bring the, there we go. We can start to see the crag a bit more. There we go. And so we will fit it to the screen. And there we have some smoke. Some nasty hydrogen sulfide gas, the stench of rotten eggs spilling out into the hellish landscape around us. Oh, that's really cool. Well, I mean, if you have questions and whatnot, I will do my best to keep up with you. But yeah, the flow of the game is quite fun. That is so cool. Thank you. Um, hmm. So we have some land features here. We have our Devil Scouts. We have Lavra's Sentry. We have the Destroyed Scorpion. We have Sunken Crag, which I really like. I'm gonna have to do a zoom in. I might end up having to do like a separate map that I build on Sunken Crag because Sunken Crag is just so interesting to me, and I'm just not sure if I can just do a cutout map and have it portray what I want it to. Um, and there's a little conflict that goes on over at the cave of changing. There's a bit of an ambush, so I'm not sure if I want to do another map for this next episode in Hellkey. It's possible that I might do two maps, this one here and one for the Cave of Changing. But yeah, here I am talking into my hand. But we are drawing close to the conclusion of my little map making session. Um, Although I still kind of feel like I need to add some more objects here. So maybe fires. I didn't add them to earlier earlier to the map, but hell is a fiery place, and some of the gases, particularly the hydrogen sulfide gas that is produced by the outgassing from the toxic critters in the water, is combustible. So let's go ahead and put a little flame down here. And just some more details. And I'm not sure if I want to add wisps. Wisps are relatively small. They're about the size of like a floating basketball, glowing in various different colors. Floating souls basically that spontaneously emerge in hell as they are drawn into hell's orbit by the wretched designs of Asmodeus. Um, but I think those are too small to depict on this map, so I'm not going to depict any wisps. Yeah, I don't know. I know I'm kind of being like a wuss about adding features to this map, but I don't want to mess it up, and it's starting to look really good. So I think I need to save it, and I think this might be the end of our map making session for today. Um, Thank you all for joining me. Thank you so much, Instant Leader, for raiding me. Now I'm gonna have to raid you back. I do like to host you. And I will be doing another map making session next week at the same time. So please feel free to come and hang out with me. I love you guys. You guys are so fantastic. And I, you know, if you want to ask any questions about maps or Dungeons and Dragons or just bring your own thoughts, the nice thing about making maps is you can kind of hang out and chill while you're being creative. So if you got a game that you're passionate about or just anything you want to discuss, please feel free. All right. Well, thank you guys. And Isasin, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I'll check out your feed. Hopefully, I'll see you and your bestie playing some Warzone and having some fun and not getting involved with any strange drama over on the Warzone scene. But please feel welcome here. This is a nice home for you if you want to have a bit of sanctuary and relaxation as you do your surfing on the interwebs or just chill out. Well, thank you so much, and I'll go ahead and be ending my stream now, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys.